if we allow instability or immorality to control us, then we are not living life ready for the coming of the King. There's an interesting little thing hidden in all these prophetic blessings that we're looking at today. As we look at what Jacob says, we get a pretty good picture of how his sons have been living. It's kind of almost like their actions, their life choices actually have consequences. Jacob begins at the beginning, starting with his firstborn, Reuben. He says some really nice stuff about Reuben, words like might and power and strength and dignity, but then he tells us about Reuben's chief primary failing. He says, Reuben, you're uncontrolled as water, and that's a fancy way to say impulsive, rash, acts without thinking. And he says Reuben will not have preeminence. Now, preeminence basically means special perks just for being the firstborn. So Reuben's not going to get a double portion of land. He's not going to have any leadership in the family. He'll really have no honor, no respect at all in the family. And he gives us an example of how Reuben was uncontrolled as water. He defiled his father's bed. This comes from Genesis 35:22, and it's talking about Jacob's concubine Bilhah. But Reuben was actually pretty impulsive in a whole bunch of places. Throwing Joseph into the pit was his idea. That's kind of rash. Telling his father that he could kill his own sons if he didn't bring Benjamin back from Egypt, very, very impulsive. Now here's the thing. I know a little bit about being uncontrolled as water. Now, acting on impulse was my go-to move for 40-something years. But you see, faithful hearts stay steady. Allowing instability to rule over our lives brings chaos, often leads to massive immorality. But you see, our God is righteous. Our God is a God of peace, not a God of chaos. If we're going to live a life ready for his return, we need to not be uncontrolled as water. We need to be spirit-led, seeking his word, his will, his way. We got to be focused on an expectant faith, looking forward with hope to his return.